When you think about integration in pro sports, Jackie Robinson usually comes to mind first. First African American to break into baseball's major leagues. But what about other sports? Hockey, for example. The NHL is still dominated by white athletes, but there are several black players in the NHL now. But back in 1958, there was only one, and his name was Willie O'Ree. James Ketchkage picks up the story in Spring Valley.
Oh, I lost teeth playing also. So it's part of the game.
Today at the Spring Valley Library, this group of fans are listening to an ice hockey legend.
45 games. I had 4 goals, 10 assists, and 22 minutes in penalties.
But it wasn't his statistics that brought him notoriety, but rather the color of his skin.
Willie O'Ree of the Boston Bruins, a native of Fredericton, New Brunswick, is the first Negro to play in the National Hockey League.
It must be quite an exciting thing, isn't it, to get into an NHL game?
No, it was the greatest thrill of my life, I believe. I'll always remember this day.
Although he played only 45 games over 2 seasons with the Boston Bruins, Willie O'Ree is best remembered as being the first black player in the history of the National Hockey League.
I started skating at the early age of 2 and started playing organized hockey at the age of 5. I think once I started learning how to skate, maneuver a puck with a stick, and do a number of things that I dreamed of doing, and it just became natural to me, and I just pursued it. And the more I played, the more I liked the game.
Willie was a speedy and talented player and played for many years in several junior leagues. His future looked promising, but in 1956, he faced his first of many challenges.
And the puck come up and struck me in the right eye, and it broke my nose, broke part of my cheek, and I was rushed to the hospital. And it was Dr. Henderson was the surgeon, and it was what that he told me that actually changed my life. He stood by my bedside in the recovery room, and he said, "Mr. O'Ree," he says, "I'm sorry to inform you," he says, "the impact of the puck completely shattered the retina in your right eye, and you're going to be blind, and you'll never play hockey again."
The injury took 95% of his vision from his right eye, but the idea of quitting the sport that he so dearly loved was inconceivable to the young athlete. Within 8 weeks, Willie was back on the ice.
When the doctor told me I'd never play hockey again, I just couldn't accept that because he didn't know how I felt inside, and he didn't know the goals and the dreams that I had, and I just went out and proved him wrong.
He told few about his blindness and continued playing ice hockey. He turned pro the next season when he signed with the Quebec Aces, a minor league team affiliated with the Boston Bruins. That winter, the Bruins roster was depleted with injury. They needed a great winger, so Willie was called into a meeting.
They called me up on January the 18th, 1958, to play against the Montreal Canadiens in 2 games, and I stepped on the ice of the Montreal Forum. It was a Saturday night and became the first black player to play in the NHL. It was a great feeling, although it didn't really register with me at that time. I was just so happy to be called up and to play.
But being black in the NHL wasn't easy. Willie would become a target for cheap shots and racial comments that he had to ignore.
Not only by fans, but by players on the opposition. But I had learned years before that names will never hurt you unless you let them. And the thing that I had to do is I just had to let it go in one ear and out the other. I fought a lot when I first started playing. I fought because I had to, not because I wanted to. But I never fought one time because of racial remarks that were directed towards me, because I knew I'd be in the penalty box a lot.
Following his time with the NHL, Willie spent the next 19 years playing for minor league teams, including the San Diego Gulls. Today, Willie's message of perseverance is made to children all across North America, introducing kids of diverse ethnic backgrounds to the game that changed his life.
I've come in contact with over 40,000 boys and girls, and I just like to help them set goals for themselves and work towards those goals and believe in themselves and make sure that they can do anything they set their mind to do. You need that constant reinforcement. And if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right.
Words of encouragement from a man who helped break the color barrier in professional sports.
Now, this NHL season marks the 50th anniversary of Willie's achievement. Willie and the NHL have been and will continue to host a lot of events throughout the season to celebrate. For more, just go to ctn.org. Coming up, dinosaurs spotted in the East County. A look at a land that not only time, but most everybody forgot when we come back.